Good, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the time that you've given to me, the Honorable Mr. Dewarat, as a teacher, as lecturer of this subject in seminar proposal. And thank you so much for all of you to attend this video. So, first of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Puspa Wulandari. I'm going to do a presentation, and the topic of the presentation is students' learning style and teachers' teaching strategy in classroom, a case study among visually impaired students. All right, then, so these are the table of the contents. The first one, the chapter one is introduction, and then the contents of the chapter one is research background, research question, objective of studies, significance of study, and the chapter two is literature review, underlying the theory of part learning style, measurement of part learning style, underlying the theory of Rorty and Newquist teaching strategies, and also measurement of Rorty and Newquist teaching strategies, empirical review, conceptual framework. And the last one, the chapter three is research methods. There are research design, research population and sample, data analysis, data source, and data collections. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the chapter one. The chapter one is the introduction. All right, and this is the background of the study. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know about the visually impaired students? The visually impaired students are the typical of child with special needs, and visually impaired students have the abnormalities in sense of sight. And students with visually impairments included low vision, and those are blind. All right. So, students with visual impairment include with low vision and also the blind. Visual impaired students tend to use the optical device like these glasses, for print application to help read and read a braille. Ladies and gentlemen, the students with visually impaired students have the major challenges with facing education impairments. The challenges basically in language disorder and also such as remember the vocabulary that they never seen the object before. Like this is an elephant, right? This is an elephant, and but they never know about the elephant shape actually because they never seen the elephant at the first. So they hard to remember the vocabularies. They never know about the expression, the color, and so on with the sense of sight. And they cannot work out the context because of they cannot see anything. And learning articulation to pronounce the word like they never know. And correctly refer to how to sound produce and so on. And ladies and gentlemen, English is one of the important lesson in every school, and English is a mandatory subject in every school, and without no exception in special needs school. And language is a tool means that communication, and because of the visual impaired students communicate verbally, mastering foreign language is very important. Why? Because of there are many real examples of visual impaired students just because their ability to master English or another foreign language and make the other people look at them because of their ability, not their disabilities, right? According to humanity. And also, the process of education is the foundation must build for human life. Why? Just furthermore, there's one factor that affecting the quality of this, such as the learning style, according to Markovic and Stefankovic 2012, and according to Fleming Mills 2092, learning style is a variation in student adapting the same strategy and to their teaching, such as assignment to achieve the learning methods and also that suit with the learning needs in the class of the class or school as well as they need the subject. And Fleming stated that there are four kinds of the varieties of the learning style. There are first of V for visual, A for auditory, R for read or write, and also K for kinesthetic. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know about the um, what about the learning style of visual impaired students? So this is the explanation as you can see on the slide. Normal student and students, normal students and students with the special needs students both have the learning style. They have learning style also. Everything that explained in planning or part theory learning style is owned by the normal students. But do you ever think that? What about the visually impaired students? Are they have the same similar of learning style like a normal students or not? So even though they have the deficiency of the sense of sight, but they are blessed with a sensitive sense of hearing and touching. So, with the most of them using the auditory learning style, and they can understand material clearly because they train to focus on listening the audio and or teacher speech in the classroom. So, visual impaired students are good listener and good storytellers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is about the relation between students' learning style and also teachers' teaching strategy. As you can see on the slide, they are related with each other and they are supporting each other. So, students' learning style and teachers' teaching strategy should be related with each other because of if the students are able to understand the lesson given by the teacher, it is a sign. It is a sign that the teacher teaching strategy is success and well used for teaching and learning process. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this research, there are several kinds of the question that I found during I do this research. There are the first questions is what are the difficulties faced by teacher while teaching visual impaired students? The second one is what is the learning style used by visually impaired students? And the third one, last but not least, is what are the teaching strategies that are used by teacher in classroom? And these are the objectives of study. So regarding the research questions, the objectives of the study are the first one is to know what is the difficulties that should be faced by teacher while teaching students with visual impairment. Second one is to know what is the learning style that used by visually impaired students. And last is to know what are the teaching strategies that used by teacher while teaching students with visual impairment in classroom. Next is significance of the study. Well, there are two kinds of the significance of the study. The first one is theory of significance, and the last one is practical significance. And for the theory significance, there are several kinds that I would like to explain to you. The first one is useful for another researchers to make a similar case, and the second one is know how to handle the visual impaired students with their own learning style, and also the last is educate every teacher or every researchers to develop their own teaching strategies. And next is practical significance. Uh, there are two kinds of the contents in practical significance. The first one is to educate everyone regarding to education for visual impaired students. So visual impaired students have the same right to receive a proper education for themselves like a normal students. And the last is to educate everyone about how important of equalizing the rights of the every child with no exceptions for the special need students. All right, we're going to go to Chapter 2, there is the literature review. Ladies and gentlemen, there are several kinds of the literature review, and I would like to explain you first about the definition of learning style. Well, as you can see on the slide, the learning style characteristic is to individual because the students' learning styles have been improved over the years. Calder and Silverman, 1988, and Fleming, 2001, Seal, 2012, based on behavioral, empirical, cognitive, physiological, and biological features. And referring to Fleming and Mills, 1992, learning style variation of the students adapting the same strategy in teaching them as an assignment to achieve learning methods that are in accordance with the classroom or learning requirements and subject. And Fleming also defines that learning style as the characteristic of individual who adopt ways to collecting, organizing, and thinking about the informations. Well, this is the for learning style. Okay, I would like to explain you about the FARC learning style. The FARC is the content of the FARC learning style is visual, auditory, reading and write, and kinesthetic. For the visual learner, and most of the learners, according to Fleming and Mills, visual learners love to learn by using their sense of sight, and they will be very happy to see a picture, diagrams, illustration, and so on. The second one is auditory. So the auditory or the aural is one of the FARC learning style also. They are those who are auditory learners will really enjoy to listening to people who talking about something. That beside that, they are a good listener. They really love to listening people lectures like listening the speech of the teacher and also recording. And the next one is read and write. So for read and write, the most people have this learning style, but this have learning style is tend to like reading and writing. They really love to reading materials and writing summarize and so on. And the last one is kinesthetic or kinesthesia. There is the people like touching something, feeling the feeling the things around them, and also they really love the experience, observation, activities, and also experimentation. All right, this is the measurement of part learning style. So this is as you can see on the slide, visually impaired students don't use the visual learning style because of their lack of sense of sight. So um, I only contain it into auditory, reading and write, and also kinesthetic. And I use the in-depth interview and observation for the measurement of this research. And the description is in-depth interview, conducting interviews with a special need English teacher who teach the visual impairment students in SLB number 1 Denpasar, and also using observation to observe the students' learning style in class. Right, we're going to go to definition of the teaching strategies. So according to Sarod, as you can see on the slide also, 2018, page 58, teaching strategies refers to the practice that teachers use to help the students learn the desired subject matter in place, the achievement of future goals. And also according to Harold and Jordan, 1997, page 12, explained that teaching strategies are important for English teacher because they can recognize important ways in which lesson and teacher assessment must be adapted to meet the needs of the diverse students. All right, this is the contents of the teaching strategies. Well, there are several kinds of the teaching strategies. The first one is brainstorming. The activity description is the teacher will give the question or problems to students, and students must find the way to solve the problems. The next is case-based small group. The teacher asks the student to form a small groups, and they are given a problem, and they doing a discussion with their groups. Next is demonstration. Demonstration is a strategy is showing an activities the students can observe how is it done, or how to help the students to help prepare students to transfer performing students to do something. And next is games. The games is the teacher gives the educational games like uh, just like to puzzle or the braille games and any other else that educational game to making a competition between the students, gain more participants and drills and get the feedback from the students from the learning experience and opportunity for applicant of the principal. And next is independent study. The student will define the question and also the problems and analyze the information, apply the skill and produce a product to show has been learned before. Next is large group discussion or question and answer. The teacher will make a large group and discussion and doing exploration of the information and simultaneous thinking, elaborating at every level of human. It is like a forum, right? So the next is lecture or presentation. Lecture or presentation usually by speech using audio, visual, or audiovisual media to transmit the information to the students. The next is self-awareness exercise or test. And the teacher will provide the intuition into the how learner thinks and also react, act, or scores regarding the distinctive topic. Next is one-to-one percepting. So this is like I'm a teacher. I'm as a teacher, and you as a student. I would like to ask you about what do you think about this topic? Do you understand it well? Just only one by one teacher, one students, and they doing a communication to get the information. How far the students understand the materials like that. Well, this is the measurement, the table of the measurement of teaching strategies by Worry and Uniquest teaching strategies. So all of the teaching strategies use the measurement, in-depth interview, and also observation. In-depth interview, conduct the interview with a special needs English teacher who teach the visual impaired students about the teaching strategies that used in the class. And for the observation, observe that teaching strategy while teaching students with visual impaired students in a class. And also, I have an empirical review of this research that I found the novelty of this research is the researchers want to make a new discovery that related with the same topic, that visual impaired students. The writer also to make the something different from the previous study, and the writer wants to conduct the research about the visual impaired students, learning style, and teacher teaching strategies in classroom. And in this research, there are gaps also conducting the research, such as the limited research that I a little bit hard to find the research, and also the research learning style and teaching strategies source is very limited in, yeah, I don't know, it's real hard to find. And also there are also a few research that discuss about the learning styles of visual impaired students and teachers teaching strategies for visually impaired students. They only discuss about the learning style and teaching strategies for normal person, but not for the visual impaired students or special need students. Yeah, I know this is very limited. Well, this is the conceptual framework. All right. So for the first is the title of this research, and I'm using the theory and also practice that related with each other, and also I'm using the theory of planning for learning style and reviewing these teaching strategies, and they are also related with each other. And after that, I would like to identify the problems of the visual impaired students' learning style and teacher teaching strategy in classroom, a case study among the visual impaired students, and also the last one is the result. Next is the chapter 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the research design that I use the qualitative case study. The first one is the interpretive test or a subjective and phenomenology that I found in the in around me, that I found that how important visual impaired students get the same rights about the educational field, and I would like to use this phenomenology or this interpretive or subjective to build this research. And below that, a qualitative approach to inquiry, and this is the inquiry that I use in this research. And below that, the research strategy, I use the case study for this. And the next is data collection methods. I use interview and also observation. I use also the document review for that, for supporting search. And also for the population and sample. The population and sample, I use the SLB number 1 Denpasar are the subject of this research, and the amount of the student is only 4 students because of there are not really much students that could be interviewed and doing observation, because of their students are limited for that. And the next is data analysis. The researchers is using the data analysis technique for the Mills and Huberman, such as the data reduction, data display and conclusion drawing, and verification. And the data source I use from the articles that I found in internet and also ebook. For the data collection, I use in the interview and classroom observation and support documents such as audio recording, pictures, and also video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the time that you've given to me to explain this presentation right now. And thank you so much for Mr. Delorat as the lecturer of this subject. See you next time. Santi. Bye.